much. But again, a little breezy, I think, to start off Friday. Keep that in mind.
Okay, so go ahead and give us a skinny about the rest of the weekend. How's that looking? It's
looking actually pretty good. Normally behind a system like this, we pull in some cold air.
Yeah.
Not going to be the case with this. I think we can moderate pretty well on Friday. I'm being optimistic here, but given how dry the air's been, how much we've been warming over what computer models tell us, I think we can get to the 50s again tomorrow and go to 52 on Saturday with some breezy conditions. So a little breezy Friday morning. We're down near 30 degrees to start off, and then the temperatures climb up to near 50 for that afternoon high on Friday. There's your wind gust Friday, up near 25 miles per hour. You can see through about 9 o'clock, and then they will drop off pretty quickly. So a much calmer afternoon, and I think Friday afternoon looks very enjoyable. 52 on Saturday. There's a south wind and a few more clouds, but again, 50s in January. Sorry, tough to complain about that. 56 on Monday, or on Sunday, I should say. Watch Monday. Models are all over the place on just when the cold air arrives. Some suggest colder. We're leaning that way. But there could be one more mild day that hangs on Monday, depending on the timing of the front. So we'll see how that goes as we get closer. 15 degrees difference between the high end and the low end and what computers are saying for Monday. We leaned the cold side just because usually these things come a little faster. We'll see how it goes.
Maybe we get a bonus one.
There you go.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get a check it on traffic this morning with Jared. How are things looking so far?
Yeah, it's mostly been a very smooth start to our Thursday. Now, we do have a couple of spots I've been watching. That includes just off of I-80. If you recall yesterday, I-80, we had a number of issues. So hoping for a bit of a better commute for our I-80 drivers. Here's what I'm watching. This is just off of the ramp from 84th to go westbound on I-80. We've had a consistent emergency crew presence right in this area. I have not seen any news as far as exactly what this is about, if there was a crash here or maybe someone just got pulled over and it's going a little too fast, but that is there. You need to keep an eye out for that. And I will say, I've also been watching this interchange, and you can see as you're going on that ramp from westbound, it looks fine. We're not seeing anyone really getting tripped up from that. So that's good news that that is not causing issues. But continue to watch for that if you're about to head out the door. In the area of 84th, while we're here, we might as well talk about how that's going. It's southbound through that interchange with I-80, where we are seeing issues right now. We've been watching delays that have been in both directions, with that bridge continuing to be out at 72nd and going to be out for quite some time. We're starting to see that already take place, so we'll watch this area. It's a good idea if you travel this area to keep in mind that you're probably going to be looking at things backed up northbound through Ralston, La Vista, maybe as far as Papillion if it's a really rough morning. 60th will be the same way, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, it's not a bad start to our commute. You can see a lot of our main roads are holding up well. JFK looks good as you make your way on the North Freeway. We don't really have any big issues to speak of, so we could keep that to a minimum. That would be great. It was kind of busy yesterday, so for both our commuters and myself, we would appreciate that.
All right, Jared, thank you. Well, happening today, it's your chance to provide thoughts on winner take all to Nebraska lawmakers. The hearing is happening in person in Lincoln this afternoon. Now, LB3 would make it so all electoral votes go to one candidate in presidential elections. Currently, they're split by congressional districts. A winner take all also has become a priority for Governor Jim Pillen, who considered calling a special session over the topic last year. After years of work, an Iowa family finally secures a change in federal law.
President Trump signed Sarah's Law as part of the Laken-Riley Act. Sarah's Law requires ICE to take into custody anybody who is in the country illegally and charged with a crime that left somebody dead or seriously hurt. It's named after Sarah Root, who was killed in a crash by a man who authorities say was in the country illegally.
Sarah's Law is now the law of the land. The tragic stories of Laken-Riley and Sarah Root are painful reminders of the consequences of a failed open border policy. These women had bright futures ahead of them.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst made repeated attempts over 9 years to pass Sarah's Law. She invited Root's father to that bill signing.
Well, the Justice Department is trying to get the case against former Nebraska Congressman Jeff Fortenberry thrown out. According to court documents, the DOJ does not oppose Fortenberry's motion to dismiss the incident without prejudice. That means the case couldn't get brought up again. The motion still needs to be signed off by a judge. The new trial was set to begin in June.
All right, joined now by Maria Kate at the safety desk. Tuberculosis is an infectious disease caused by a type of bacteria which primarily impacts the lungs. Now, as we explained yesterday, it's currently racing through Kansas. Now, Maria, if you could tell us more about the illness and what this means for folks.
Yeah, we haven't really heard of a big wave of this since they first started tracking it back in the 1900s. So this is a pretty big deal. And the cases are hitting Kansas. It's the largest outbreak of tuberculosis since they started monitoring these numbers in the 1950s. Now, as of Friday, at least 67 people are being treated for active infections. There are 79 other confirmed cases where TB is in the body, but it's not making the person sick. The CDC says most people in the U.S. are at a minimal risk for getting tuberculosis. The country has some of the lowest rates in the world, and the Kansas State Health Department has not said what caused the outbreak, but experts say people who have a higher risk of TB exposure are people who are in hospitals, shelters, correctional facilities, or nursing homes.
If there are people in those local communities who are concerned and they go out into the public, well, put on your mask. You'll be protected against TB, and you'll also have some protection against flu, which is out there everywhere still.
Now, experts say it can be prevented with vaccines, screenings, and also making sure that if you are infected, you get that treatment from your doctor. You want to finish it all the way through. Experts say the vaccine is actually not normally used in the U.S. because there is such a low exposure rate historically.
It's interesting. You don't always think about stuff like that.
No.
Okay, Maria, in the meantime, you have a first alert about Honda drivers. That's me, so I want to listen to this.
Me too, Aaron. 295,000 cars are being recalled because of an issue in some specific cars with the engine. So you do want to listen up if you are one of the cars that I'm going to be saying if you own one of those. So Honda recall these cars because of a software issue involving the fuel injection electronic control unit. Now, they say the engines in those cars could stall or lose power, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the recall affects certain 2022 to 2025 Acura MDX cars, as well as Honda Pilots, and 2021 to 2025 Acura TLX Type S cars. So 3 different ones there under that recall. Honda and Acura dealers will update that software free of charge for you. And if you do have a model that is affected, they're going to send something out to you in the mail in March.
We know how popular Hondas are.
Yeah.
Constantly on the roads.
Yes,
okay.
I see them everywhere.
All right, Maria, thank you. In the meantime, we'll be back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. It's no secret we've been oh so dry this winter, and now we're getting a little rain here.
Just a little bit. Chances are low this morning, get a little bit better this afternoon, but take the umbrella with you just in case. I know you might have to knock the cobwebs off of it. It's been a little while, but have it around. I keep mine in the back of the car, and it's gotten trampled on by the toddler a couple of times. Hopefully it still works. We have some spotty showers this morning. After about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think we get a few more that build in for the evening hours. Notice the odds are the greatest for the metro. It's only 40% for Omaha. I think it's going to be greater down to the southeast. Couple little sprinkles trying to hang on as they develop. Now they're fizzling out heading north into Lincoln, so just a little bit there. Luckily, as the rain moves in, it's trying to bring in some warmer air, and you can see there's the edge of the clouds at the moment starting to really move in. So some thicker clouds are moving in. There's your steadier rain to the southeast. That's why I think the farther southeast you live in our area, the better the odds of getting the rain. We will go into the upper 40s, right near 50 degrees for the high today, because it just takes a little while before the moisture really starts to fill in. But that's what we get with temperatures, so everybody stays above freezing while the rain chances are around, so I don't foresee big problems. By 2 o'clock, we're up near 50. Notice by 4, a couple little specks on the map, steadiest down to the southeast. Hopefully this batch develops up to the northwest here. That's your best odds of getting rain north of I-80 the way it looks. Really sparse stuff along I-80 around 10 o'clock. Best odds for the steady rain. It's a chilly rain too overnight. By 4 o'clock it's mostly done and moving out. North wind kicks in. Sends our temperatures down to near 30, but that should also dry things out. So I don't have to worry about anything freezing up with this. Now you look at the moisture potential out of these 2 rounds and you can see here, or out of this round, I should say, I'm showing you 2 different models. Again, up near an inch in the southeastern corner of our area. Same story to the southeast as well. You're going to be lucky to get 1/10 of an inch. Once you get north of Red Oak, Plattsmouth, Lincoln, it's just going to be a struggle with this one as the dry air wins out on the north side. So here's your 10-day forecast. You get 51 on Friday. Notice Saturday, a little bit on the breezy side. It's going to have a few more clouds, and the south wind during the day will gust to near 25, maybe some 30-mile-per-hour gusts on the Iowa side. So factor that in. It looks like a nice day to be outside, and it will be, but the wind is going to have a little bite to it. So keep in mind, you're still going to want a coat, I think, of some sort, because that wind will have something to say about it. 52 degrees by Saturday afternoon, and then 56 on Sunday. Right now, leaning on the cold side for Monday with 30s. I wouldn't be surprised if that trends up a little bit. There's even a model that suggests the 50s hold on for another day on Monday. So that's the way it looks here for the next 5 days. We need some moisture. We're going to be, well, Saturday? It's first day of February, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. It's just a blur. But yeah, hopefully we can get a little more moisture heading into the month.
Well, we keep thinking that February will be the time when we'll have more moisture and especially more snow. But is there anything to indicate that at this point?
There are some signs that the pattern does get busier middle of next week. I'm not seeing any large storm systems, but several small opportunities that start around Wednesday, and hopefully we could get something out of these. These will be very short-lived little systems the way it looks right now, and then that perhaps even continues beyond the 10-day. The odds lean towards wetter than average in several spots around the country. So hopefully that means the pattern's starting to pick up a little bit, and you know, there's still a month and a half of winter left. We'll see what we can do. We haven't done much up until now, but
come on, Mother Nature.
These are small little opportunities for snow, not much to it. But we'll see what we can get in the first half of the month, and we can add up anything, measure some snow or measure some rain. We'll see.
Saw the classic post going around yesterday that we are here in the chart. We're at Fool Spring is where we're at. We're about to head into second winter.
Second winter.
It does feel like spring. All right, you got an update on traffic and actually some construction projects we need to watch out for.
Yeah, that's where we're seeing a lot of our problems right now, is where we're seeing some slowdowns tied to those. So let's jump in and show you where we are seeing some of that affecting things. And I really want you to pay attention to this one. First alert to this as you head along Northwest Radial westbound. I know people tend to not maybe follow the speed limit in this stretch. And as you're heading westbound on Northwest Radial right around 48th, this is going right around a curve and you come smack into some construction where you got 1-lane travel. So as you head through there, slow down. Make sure you're using that caution here because there's a lot of traffic that comes through there. Try to limit any kind of issues. It is a little slow right now. This construction lasts through Monday. Some other areas that I am seeing some construction effects that are in place. As you're going Q, this is long-term construction. This is going to be here for 4 months. You can see both eastbound, westbound slowdowns right around 120th. It's just off to the west where we have that work ongoing at this point. Zoom things out though, you can see we are mostly seeing a smooth start to the commute. Great news there. A little slow as you're going eastbound on Blair High near 680. That's no new slowdown as far as our commutes tend to go, but keep an eye on that, and otherwise hopefully we keep things pretty incident free.
All right, we hope so, Jared. Thank you. Well, to our Big Red Extra coverage, legendary Nebraska volleyball coach John Cook announces his retirement.
Yeah, the iconic Husker spent 32 seasons as a college coach, 25 of them at Nebraska. Just minutes after that news broke, we learned that now former Louisville head coach Danny Busboom Kelly will take over for Cook. She's only the 4th head coach in the history of the program.
A closer look at Cook's incredible career. He's won more games than any Division I volleyball coach this century. Cook has also won 4 national championships and 15 conference titles. He is expected to address the media at 10 o'clock this morning. Well, coming to life, literally.
A look at the honor being given to a tourist attraction when First Alert 6 streaming comes back. A mountain considered an ancestor by Indigenous people in New Zealand was recognized as a legal person.
Yeah, a new law granted it all the rights of a human being. Mount Taranaki is the latest natural feature to be granted personhood in New Zealand. The volcano is a popular spot for tourism, hiking, and snow sports. The legal recognition fulfills an agreement between the country's government and its Indigenous people.
Yeah, I know there's a number of countries that do this sort of thing where they kind of recognize sacred sites for Indigenous tribes. So this lines right up with that.
Okay.
Pretty interesting thing that they're doing there.
Yeah, very interesting.
All I think about is like it's 18 hours or something to travel to get there so I can see it. Like it's just a long flight to that side of the world.
Very much so. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6. We're going to get it ready for our update in the Today Show. Of course, we'll have the latest on breaking news. You can watch that here over the air, or you can watch it on streaming.
All right, have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Meredith Hartley. I have a new crash to talk about this morning. We're going to check in with Jared.
Yeah, this just came in. It's 36th and Capehart where we're looking at this one. There's 36, there's Capehart. So watch this area for some potential delays that may start stacking up with that crash that just came in. Or start be counting your drivers. You need to watch for that. Otherwise, this is the slowdown that you're seeing on 84th, right near I-80. Both directions really getting swamped with traffic over the last week or two as everyone tries to navigate that closure on 72nd. You can see how things are delayed there. Some delays on F Street as people try to go through there. L Street also starting to get some delays. This whole area, again, going to be slow. Rusty.
All right, thanks, Jared. Let's talk about the showers that are going to develop during the day today. Even had a few here early this morning that developed, and well, as quickly as they popped up, they faded away as they lifted to the north. And so we'll watch to see if any new ones can develop as the morning goes along. Perhaps a little hint right there near Plattsmouth and parts of Mills County. There's moisture trying to move in. There's warmth trying to move in. You can see 30 in Omaha, but 35 in Plattsmouth. And some of that warmer air is trying to lift north along with the clouds today. We should climb to about 50 degrees by 2 o'clock. For the high today, and then after that is when the best odds for precipitation move in. You can see how it gradually develops with more and more as we go towards the evening hours. Never really entirely fills in unless you're down here to the southeast. Northwest Missouri, far southeast Nebraska, best odds of getting some rain, and then overnight that drops to the south and out, and we fall to about 30 to start off Friday. So a high of 50 today. Most of the rain will be in our southeastern counties. Aaron?
Well, John Cook is retiring from coaching volleyball. He spent 32 seasons as the college coach, 25 of them at Nebraska. Cook won more matches than any Division I volleyball coach this century, leading to 4 national championships. We are expecting to learn more details about his retirement at a news conference happening at 10 a.m. this morning.
Well, best of luck to him. It is 7:28. Our news coverage continues here on 25 Minutes. We'll see you then.